Welcome to the internet. Hello, thank you for coming back. So today I've got a fantastic video. Actually, it's a really depressing video that's going to be hard to watch. But hey, that's what that's what the people want. So let's see if we can get through it. I'm an American, and this is What's the Dumbest Thing an American Has Ever Said to You, Part 3.
I'm kind of curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so just recently while the elections were happening, I had a girl ask me if I was voting for Biden or for Trump. I said neither, I'm in Australia, and she said it doesn't matter, every vote counts.
A lot of these things these people say are kind of like unintentionally funny, like ironic. I don't know. Like if she was trying to be funny, that would be kind of funny.
I had to explain to her that it's just her country voting, not the whole world.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So when I was like...
She should be the last one to vote. She shouldn't be allowed, okay?
Country voting, not the whole world.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So when I was like 20, I studied in Kyoto, Japan for like 6 months. And during that time, I got a job in an Irish pub because, of course, I did. And one day, this American man comes in, he's like in his 40s, and whenever he hears my accent, he starts delivering this speech to everyone about how much he thinks he knows about Ireland. So here's me thinking I'm being friendly, and I was like, oh yeah, I can see why you would think this thing, but it's actually more like this. And he's like, well, you wouldn't really know because you're not really Irish. You're black Irish. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, but anyway, yeah, I'm Irish. And he's like, no, I have a great-grandmother from Ireland, and that's why I'm really Irish. You don't even look like one. And I was like... No, I was not about to lose my nice job over this man.
He sounds, rather than being dumb, it's just horribly racist.
So I was just like, give him his gin and tonic. But he was so angry and so livid that I claimed to be Irish that he brought his co-worker in the next day to test if I was Irish or not. Me and the co-worker turned out we were from the same town, and he was like, yeah, she's Irish, and he was so pissed off!
I'm kind of curious, what is the dumbest thing an
I think that guy needs to have the cops called on him.
American has ever said to you?
I think I might make a series out of this, but this is the first thing that comes to my mind every time
a whole series
ask me a question like this. So, in 2015, I moved to the US, and I was a junior in high school at the time, and I was talking to some girls, and they were like asking me questions about Greece. These girls were seniors in high school, and
whoa, seniors in high school, they must be really smart.
this one girl goes, after I said something about school in Greece and how different it is from school in the US, she goes, oh my God, it's so weird. I feel like you're like from a whole another country.
There's a reason you feel that way.
Because I am. And that was when I realized that education in the US is a scam.
I'm kind of curious, what is the dumbest thing an
Some people just don't pay attention.
American has ever said to you?
They do teach you the concept of a country in America.
In San Diego last year, I was at a service station just filling up the car with petrol, and I go up to the cashier and
I like this guy already. A nice Aussie. What's he got to say?
last year, I was at a service station just filling up the car with petrol, and I go up to the cashier and I'm like, oh yeah, just the petrol, thanks mate. And he goes,
I would honestly, it would take me, and I'd be like, oh yeah, the petrol. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
oh shit, is that an accent? Where you from? I'm just from Australia. Oh wow, that's like a really long way away.
What do you mean just from Australia? That's like the furthest that's like the furthest you can be. I'm just from Australia. Bro, there's nowhere crazier to be from. That's cool.
So, did you...
Don't be so humble.
From Australia. Oh wow, that's like a really long way away. So, did you fly here or did you drive here?
I don't know if I can do it, fellas. And ladies. I just don't know if I can do it. I don't claim these Americans. Not all of us are the same, you know that? Believe it or not. It's painful.
A flu? Yeah, it's probably a little bit too far to drive, isn't it? I think about this all the bloody time. Like a howdy? What?
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I am from Italy, but I have lived and worked in the United States for a while.
Okay.
One day this guy comes up to me and he's like, how do you become a Mafia member? And I'm like, a Mafia member? Out, what? And it was like, yeah, is there like an interview to do? Is there like someone you go to apply? And I'm like, what? Apply in the Mafia? This man, grown ass man, thought being in the Mafia was just a regular job, just like being an assistant or a teacher or a doctor. Do you really think we have Mafia universities here in Italy? Or do we just show up at the Mafia boss being like, yo, dude, I want to work for you?
This is one of those ones where it's too dumb, okay? It's too dumb. I'm not going to respond to this one. I can't tell. It's one of the ones where, like, he had to have been joking. Nobody thinks the Mafia is like a job that you submit an application for.
You, and he's like, yeah, sure, let's go kill some people. Hello, yeah, boss, being like, yo, dude, I want to work for you. And he's like, yeah, sure, let's go kill some people. Hello.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I mean, no shade to Americans because I do dumb shit all the time.
At least one person admits it. There's stupid people other than Americans, but there are plenty of stupid Americans.
But I once had a lady comment on a post when I said, thank God it's Friday. And she said, it's Thursday, hun. And I said, no, in Australia it's Friday. And then she accused me of gaslighting her.
You're gaslighting me! It's not Friday! Don't get me excited!
To which I answered, I'm going to blow your mind when I tell you that it's actually summer in Australia too, while you're in winter. And then she called me a terrorist.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so true story. When I was a teenager, I was in Arizona visiting my best friend who lived out there, and I was there for the summer. And we met this girl, and she complimented my top, and she was like,
That's nice
oh,
of her.
I really like your top. Where'd you get it? And I was like, Singapore. She goes, oh, is that a mall? And I look at her, and I was like, no, it's in Asia. And I kid you not, she goes, is Asia a mall?
Huh? What? I was gonna give it like it is. There's a possibility that there's a store called Singapore. You know what I mean? Like that is a possibility. Like that you could get a little confused since that's unusual. You know, you ask someone where their top is from. I've never asked that, but and they say Singapore. I mean, I'm just trying to understand. But the Asia part just makes it's inexplicable. Okay, I'm not going to try to because it's inexplicable. That's just stupid.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So first of all, I think I could probably make an entire series on this because I've been in
Why does everybody keep saying that?
America for a while and I've heard some pretty crazy things. When I went to high school, I went to boarding school in Utah. And on the first day, we were in class. And the teacher came in and went through roll. And as the teacher was going through roll, they told us that if you come from a country where English is not your first language, I'm going to write your name down and you're not going to get graded as harshly because we don't think it's fair. I'm thinking, wow, that's like really good for them. You know, especially a couple of these students. They're struggling to speak English in the time that I've met them and talking to them. So he gets to me finally on the roll and he says, Bailey, I said, yes, here. I'm from Australia. And he goes, Australia. And he turns around and writes my name down.
Hey, I'd take it.
I'm thinking, what's going on? Everyone starts kind of talking around. I'm like, shut up. I went in with a 2.9 GPA my junior year. I graduated with a 4.0.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Oh, I love your Chinese accent.
Holy crap. This lady needs to calm down, I think.
Thing an American has ever said to you?
Oh, I love your Chinese accent. I'm French, born and raised.
I'm kind of curious.
Well, you could still have Chinese parents. Like, I know some kids that were raised here by Chinese parents and they have like a Chinese accent because of that, you know?
And I'm French, born and raised.
I'm kind of...
She took that real badly.
Curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so I tell this story like all the fucking time. But basically, I'm from Spain, which is in Europe, for those that don't know.
Europe.
And my senior year of high school, I was a foreign exchange student in Vegas, in Nevada. And I was in my math class, and this girl that was like white, blue eyes, blonde hair. And she comes to me, she's like, she says something like, is there a lot of people that look like me in Spain? So I said, yeah, most people look like me, but there are some people that look like you because you're just blonde, blue eyes, like you said. And she was like, yeah, because you guys are not white or some shit like that. And I was like, I am white, like, hello? And she was like, yeah, but not really white, but there's some white people because you guys were colonized. And I was like, honey, we are the colonizers.
That conversation seemed above the pay grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, just move on. Talk about something else. Don't talk about that. Why would you want to talk about that? About like someone else's country and who colonized it and what race they are. What good is like what are you trying to do?
I'm curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
And of course what she said is completely absurd.
Colonizers.
I'm kind of curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I live in Cancun, Mexico, and I've been working with American tourism for around 6 years now. And there was this time when a guy in his 40s came to the resort I was working in. It was his first time in Mexico, and he told me he wanted to book some tours. So I started writing down all the tours he wanted to do. He told me he wanted to visit Chichen Itza, Tulum, and Machu Picchu. So I stopped writing and told him Machu Picchu was not in Mexico, it was in Peru. And he asked me how much would it take to get there in a taxi. I told him it would take around from 5 to 6 hours by plane. And he was so mad, he began complaining that how come if we also had Mayan ruins, no one told him Machu Picchu was not here.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so this is when I was working in a bar in Edinburgh many years ago. And This guy kept on saying, this American dude was in and he was like, you're not Scottish. You're not, well, he didn't say Scottish, he had Scotch.
I like that impression. It's like a skater.
American dude
American
was
skater.
Like, you're not Scottish. You're not, well, he didn't say Scottish, he had Scotch. You're not Scotch, I'm a Scotch American, because my last name I saw on a clan map. And so that's how I know where my clan comes from. I've never seen your name on a clan map. I was born at the fucking Inverness General Hospital, you be dead.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I was raised in Australia and I moved to the US when I was almost 11 years old. And in 8th grade, this girl asked me like, oh, where is Australia?
I like the eye makeup. Look at that, representing.
And I was like, oh, like America's here. And
some of us may be stupid, but she's still repping.
In 8th grade, this girl asked me like, oh, where is Australia? And I was like,
unless she's just repping.
Oh, like America's here, Australia is here. Like they're two separate continents, two separate countries. And she was like, oh, but like, where is Australia? And I was like, America's here, Australia's here. And she was like, but like, where?
America's here, Australia's here. That's the most simple explanation you could say.
Where in America is?
I guess that was too much for her.
Is Australia? And I was like,
where in America?
It's not in America. It's a different country, a different continent. Like America's here, Australia's here. And she was,
America's here, Australia's here. Like way over here.
It's like, but like, what state is it in? Like, is that like a city or a state? And I was like, it's neither, it's a different country. And she was like, but like, America's the whole world. And I was like,
it's not the first time someone has said that in one of these videos. Who are these idiots that think America is literally the whole world? I understand that like some Americans think America is like the center of the world and like the only part of the world that matters. Like that's kind of how they act. But who are these idiots that actually think America is the only country in the world? You would have had to drop out of school in like 2nd grade.
No, baby girl, it's not. She really thought that America was the whole world and that Australia was in America and like the US education system sucks. So they're all fucking idiots.
I don't appreciate that.
And like the US education system sucks, so
It sucks.
oh, they're all fucking idiots.
They're all fucking idiots.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
If you have like 6 months to spare and you email IKEA.
Oh, that was it. I forgot these videos sometimes end like in the middle. This is all just like different video stuff. Okay. Well, that was painful. Okay. I even got a little defensive there, like. But hey, that's what you got to do sometimes when you're an American and everybody's calling you a moron. But it's annoying because there's so many examples of stupid Americans that they have so much firepower, and I'm like over here like trying to block it. No, they do not represent us. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was a lot of fun. Not. No, it was fun. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to. You can. I don't know. Goodbye. See you in the next one.